applications, and Junior is also our resident guest. Karibu sana Bushebi Junior.
Asante sana Sandra Kidamani, glad to be here on PLG.
Karibu sana. All right, let's have a look at our first segment, which is the proverb of the day. And this is what it says. If you think you're too small to make a difference, then you haven't spent a night with a mosquito. If you think you're too small to make a difference, then you haven't spent a night with a mosquito. Bushebi Junior, what is the meaning of this proverb and its application on PLG in the country?
Of course, it's quite an important proverb, especially at this time in the country. And its meaning, first of all, is simple and it's self-explanatory, even in the proverb itself, when it says that you need to not ignore the impact of the actions that you keep carrying as an individual or as a corporate or organization. Sometimes there are things we do as human beings, or there are things we say, and we may not really understand the impact that they have on somebody. Take, for example, a parent who maybe calls his or her child stupid. You know, you may do that because you are angry over what a child did, but you have no idea that that abuse can grow with that child to adulthood. So what looked so simple as an act of anger, you expressing your anger, ended up destroying or causing an aura of rejection on the child up to adulthood. Application to politics today is a simple example could be what politicians say. For example, you might find that our opposition leader says we're going to have a demonstration, and all investors run away, and nobody goes to work, and the country goes into chaos even before the demonstrations actually take place. So for you to understand the impact of what you do, you need to spend a night with a mosquito. I'm telling you, you will not sleep that night because of the song that the mosquito will be singing on your ear, and the bites that the mosquito will be carrying out in the room. So its application to today's political environment is that leaders should be careful, extremely careful about what they say, about what they think, and about what they do, because it has huge impact. The action could be small, in fact, insignificantly small, in the manner that you can't even notice it you yourself, but the impact is nucleic. What I mean is that when you have a nuclear bomb, it is the size of your fist, but when it drops, it can destroy the whole of Nairobi and the whole of Kenya in 30 minutes. A very small thing and a very stupid action of just releasing it. Once it hits the ground, you won't underestimate the impact. And so the leaders should know that their words, their actions, and their thoughts towards Kenyans are like the nuclear bomb, are like the atomic bomb. So when you release it, you have no idea the impact that it may have, both positively or negatively. And I think that could be the best application of that proverb. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, let's have a look at our cartoon picture of the day. And with the picture, we see the head of state, President William Ruto, his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, and the Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga. And they are racing towards 2027. In the race, we can see President William Ruto is already in 2027. Kalonzo Musyoka is still at the back waiting for Raila Odinga to hand over the stick to him. And Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is just seated somewhere out of the track, relaxed. Bushebi Junior, what do you think of this?
I mean, this editorial cartoon speaks a lot of about the situation right now in the country. The other day, Raila Odinga said Kalonzo tosha for 2027. Then later on, he came and retracted what he said. He said, no, I didn't say Kalonzo tosha. I said Kalonzo is a good man. And so that explains him trying to hand over the stick to Kalonzo Musyoka and again not handing over the stick to Kalonzo Musyoka. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is a funny one because he knows that he's not in the race. And so why waste my time when I know very well that in 2027 I'm not going to be in the race, and perhaps maybe President William Ruto might drop him as the running mate in 2027. And when you look at President William Ruto, he's already in 2027. He has a secret card that many are talking about right now. That is Ruto-Raila pact, that in case Central goes against William Ruto, then he's going to have Western through Raila Odinga. And so it's a tricky one. But already President William Ruto has an upper hand. As you can see, he's already crossed one leg to 2027. Kalonzo Musyoka is still dilly-dallying, waiting for Raila Odinga to say Kalonzo Tosha. And Rigathi Gachagua is in his own world, as usual. Thinking about Mount Kenya people and on the side of the track, instead of thinking about running to become the running mate of President William Ruto. He doesn't care about 2027 much. He cares about Mount Kenya people and Mathira constituency. Yes.
Thank you, Bushebi Jr. Well, that editorial picture forms the basis of our discussion, where we begin with Raila Odinga's statement over the week when he denied endorsing Kalonzo for 2027 election. And before we get into that discussion, let's have a look at this story.
Ni ndugu yangu, Raila rafiki yetu, yeye ndio Oburu amealika yeye siku ya leo kama mgeni maalum. Huyu jamaa tumetembea naye pamoja, tulikuwa naye pamoja kutoka wakati hili ya KANU, alikuwa KANU huko. Tukaenda naye, tukaunda chama pamoja na yeye, inaitwa LDP. Tukaingia pamoja kwa NARC, tukaenda naye pamoja kwa ODM. Tumesimama naye pamoja mara mbili, tumesimama naye pamoja, tukipigana na tujashindwa. Kila mara kwa mara tumekuwa tunanyang'anywa tu. Yeye amesimama na mizizi kidete. Hata mara hii ya mwisho hakuchaguliwa kama mgombea mwenza na yangu, lakini alibaki na sisi. Alibaki na sisi. Jamaa ana moyo. Jamaa ana ukakamavu. Jamaa ni mtu ambaye unaweza kumwamini. Yeye ni mtu mwaminifu. Yeye tena ni mtu Mkristo. Yeye ni mtu ana tabia ya ungingwana. Ana upendo. Ana upendo kabisa. Juzi nilisikia kama Ruto alikuwa pande hii nasema tu, mimi najua baba hata simama. Sasa mimi nitakuwa na Kalonzo tu. Anaongea juu ya Kalonzo kama Kalonzo ni kama yeye. Kalonzo ameshinda bwana Ruto mara 10. Yeye ni mtu mwaminifu. Yeye ni mtu mwaminifu. Anataka kutagawanya sisi. Baba na Kalonzo, sijui baba hatasimama, sijui nani hatasimama. Miongoni wetu hapa mtu atasimama. Sawa? Yeye anafikiri yeye ni mwerevu zaidi. Tutamwonyesha ati yeye hajui. Sawa? Sisi tutasimama kidete na ndugu Kalonzo Musyoka. Yeye ni mtu mwaminifu.
All right, that's the report that brings us to our first question. Bushebi Jr., did the opposition chief Raila Odinga endorse Wiper party leader Kalonzo Musyoka for the 2027 presidential bid when he said, and I quote, "Sisi tutasimama kidete na mdogo Kalonzo on 15th October"? Does that statement qualify to justify that he endorsed Kalonzo Musyoka for the presidential bid in 2027?
I think it does qualify to, justify the fact that he supports Kalonzo Musyoka for 2027. I've been of the opinion that Raila Odinga should endorse somebody for 2027 or nurture someone for 2027, given that he has tried 5 times and like he said, 4 times he won, and the elections were being stolen from him. But I think the elections that Raila Odinga won and was actually snatched away from him were the elections of 2007. But on this one, I think whether it was a flip of the tongue or an expose that, Raila Odinga did not mean to put out there, but somehow it came out. I do believe that His Excellency Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is going to be on the ballot boxes in 2027, regardless of whether Raila Odinga endorses him or endorsed him or not. And again, on this one, I do believe that Raila Odinga endorsed Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and it is a plan, because let me tell you what I believe, and I think again on the same. If Raila Odinga does not support Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka in 2027, the president, William Ruto himself, will finance Kalonzo Musyoka to run for 2027, so that Kalonzo Musyoka can be his opponent in 2027. And if you listened to what President said while in Lakeside during his tour, the recent tour of his Lakeside region, he said in 2027 he's going to meet with Kalonzo Musyoka on the ballot, and he's going to beat Kalonzo Musyoka. So that simply tells you, even the president himself wants Kalonzo Musyoka in 2027. And Raila Odinga has no choice. And if Raila Odinga is going to run for the 6th time in this country, he's going to fail terribly. William Ruto is going to beat him in 2027. So the best option for Raila Odinga right now is to endorse someone. At least say whether Kalonzo Tosha or whoever he will say Tosha might give William Ruto some sleepless nights. But if Raila Odinga goes head to head with William Ruto, if they couldn't beat him when he was out of the government, this is Raila Odinga, this is Uhuru Kenyatta, this is Matiang'i, with the whole system and everything, with the government and the tools of the government, everything. But they could not beat William Ruto, who just had some upcoming politicians around him. And he beat all of them. He beat the deep state. He beat the billionaires. He beat the bigwigs and the politburos and became the president of the Republic of Kenya. Now he's the president. Tell me which magic Raila Odinga is going to use to beat William Ruto in 2027. There's no magic. This man is already in 2027. He has already won those elections. He's the president. What are you going to... William Ruto cannot accept to be a one-term president. He's going to do everything to clinch his second term. And so the person that, for the posterity of democracy in the country, I think Raila Odinga should support Kalonzo Musyoka. He should support Kalonzo Musyoka. Not because Kalonzo Musyoka will win in 2027, but it will give him a foundation for 2032. And whether he supports Kalonzo or not, William Ruto is going to support Kalonzo to run in 2027 against him, so that he can win and prepare a ground for either Musalia Mudavadi in 2032 or Kalonzo Musyoka in 2030. So either way, as William Ruto will be retiring in 2032, he wants a soft landing. So he is still weighing. He either wants Mudavadi to take over, or he wants Kalonzo Musyoka to take over. So he's making his deals right now. So Raila Odinga has no option on that. Yeah.
And does that mean that His Excellency Raila Odinga exposed the 2027 game plans that Azimio Coalition has? And how many people are in this game plan? Could it be that even the president himself is involved in the game plan?
Exactly. That has always been my thinking. I think by now many Kenyans should be, the curtain has been, removed, and Kenyans should be seeing the truth. There was a meeting between His Excellency Raila Odinga and President William Ruto, and we were told the former president of Nigeria, Obasanjo, came to, oversee the meeting and stuff. And during that meeting, a lot was agreed, including the 2027 and 2032 game plan. All that has been sealed. So what we are experiencing right now are just the repercussions of the agreements that Raila Odinga and William Ruto had. And we are just like in a simulation. We're just being played. Things are just happening and you're wondering what is going on. What is going on is that there was an agreement between Raila Odinga and William Ruto, and for 2027 and 2032. And this thing has already been planned. And so it's just that both of them, President William Ruto and Raila Odinga, spoke the truth. Whether it's accidentally, somebody said that President William Ruto is a man who speaks the truth accidentally. So if you want to find any truth in him, wait for an accident. He'll accidentally speak the truth. President William Ruto has said he's going to face Kalonzo Musyoka in 2027. And Raila Odinga, same area, Lakeside, has again said they are going to support Kalonzo Musyoka in 2027. Why is the president and the opposition speaking the same language? These are people we think don't see eye to eye. We think they are political enemies, but now they are speaking the same language. So I believe even President William Ruto is in the game, Raila Odinga is in the game, Kalonzo Musyoka is in the game, Musalia Mudavadi is in the game. They know exactly what plans they have for this country until 2032. They have already planned that out. And so whatever you're experiencing is a pre-planned, these are just repercussions. Whether it's a bipartisan talk, whether it's a restructuring of UDA, whether it's a everything that you are seeing, even these ODM members going to meet the president and all these fracas that you are seeing, isn't games. The truth is that these two gentlemen already sealed the deal for 2027 and 2032. And if Raila Odinga is not going to support Kalonzo, William Ruto himself will sponsor Kalonzo to run against him so that he can win, period. Otherwise, show me any person who can beat William Ruto in 2027. There's nobody. Not even Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga akisimama 2027, atapigwa saa 11 asubuhi. Atakuwa ameshashindwa hiyo kura. Nakwambia ukweli. If they could not beat William Ruto in 2022, with all the machinery that they had, with everything, all the instruments of power at their disposal, the dips, call it anything. They had everything. Money, security, they had everything. Even IBC ilikuwa yao. Then what happened? He beat all of them. Now tell me, how this is the man at the helm. How are you going to beat him? So, President William, the only way is to negotiate with him. And that is why Raila Odinga had to negotiate with the president. Wacha tuongee maneno. Itakuwaje. Mimi naona huyu Kalonzo anawezana hii mambo 2032. Mimi naona pia Mudavadi. Wacha tuwaweke wote pamoja wacheze hii mchezo, alafu tuone maneno itakuwaje. And so they are weighing. That's why you're seeing they are pushing Kalonzo and they are also pushing Mudavadi. They are pushing Kalonzo and they are pushing Mudavadi. Mudavadi tells you 2032 is going to be the president. And they are also pushing Kalonzo Musyoka for 2032. So it's a game. It's a game that is going on. If you open your eyes and see deep inside, you see that all these guys are inside. This game. They meet, they talk, they plan, and they come and manage their supporters with politics.
Now, away from that, the same Azimio leader Raila Odinga on 16th came out to refute the very statement of him endorsing His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka for the presidential bid in 2027. Mm-hmm. Bushebi Jr., what is your understanding of the two contradicting statements?
It's a tension that Raila Odinga created. Most people who follow Raila Odinga or are close to Raila Odinga, Raila Odinga has always been treated like a donkey. Okay, when somebody wants to achieve something, they use Raila Odinga. They use his name. So Raila Odinga carries all of them, all the way. Even talk about William Ruto. Were it not for Raila Odinga, you wouldn't be having the brand of William Ruto today. They had to go through ODM. They had to go through Raila Odinga. Some people just sing the name of Raila Odinga and they win elections. They don't need to campaign. So that is the person, that is the brand of Raila Odinga. And so the people surrounding Raila Odinga are people who've been anticipating either to take over from him or to reap something from Raila Odinga. Most of the people that surround Raila Odinga are not there because they are loyal to him. They are there for the benefits. Because they know the moment I'm associated with the name and the person of Raila Odinga, I'm either going to win elections or I'm going to get a certain deal, or, there's a benefit of some sort. So they're not there because they are loyal to the ODM party philosophy or the structures that are there. They don't believe in the manifesto of ODM. They don't believe in what Raila Odinga believes in. They believe in the benefits. What if, like, take an example of somebody like Felix Oduor, MP for Langata, that is Jalango. He used the name of Raila Odinga to win Langata seat. Then after that, ditched Raila Odinga and followed William Ruto. Those are the kinds of people that surround Raila Odinga. And Raila Odinga knows. It's not that he doesn't know. And so when he gives an indication of some sort that I'm endorsing Kalonzo Musyoka, it brings tension in ODM. It brings tension in Azimio. People are like, wait a minute, we need now to plan on the way forward. Seems like our boss has decided the inheritance goes to Kalonzo Musyoka. And so you'll see that tension in the party. So what you're experiencing that forced Raila Odinga to come out and say, I did not endorse Kalonzo Musyoka, is an afterthought. It is something he sat down, looked at the reactions of the people around him. He doesn't want to lose them. He doesn't want to destroy the Azimio outfit. He doesn't want to destroy the ODM outfit. So he came and said, you know what, I have to issue another statement. And came out and say, I just congratulated Kalonzo Musyoka. But we all know what Raila Odinga said. He categorically said, Ruto anafikiria yeye ni mwakili, lakini tutamuonyesha sisi yeye hajui. Tunaenda kusimama nyuma ya nani? Ya Kalonzo. What does that statement mean? It simply means they are going to support Kalonzo Musyoka against William Ruto. It's an obvious statement. But now it didn't sit down well with some of the, the blood suckers that surround Raila Odinga. So that tension is what Raila Odinga is trying to control. But there's nothing contradicting. The fact remains that Raila Odinga is going to support Kalonzo Musyoka. If you remember in 2022 or 2021, during the campaigns before the elections, there was this argument that Kalonzo Musyoka came up with. They said, I'll be a fool if I say Raila Tosha again. Because at first when I said it, I was disappointed. And then he changed his mind and came back to support Raila Odinga for 2022. What did they agree after that support? That the next one, it will be Raila Odinga supporting Kalonzo Musyoka. And so it is time, whether Raila Odinga likes it or not, that he supports Kalonzo Musyoka. And is Kalonzo Musyoka ripe for presidency? I think so. He has a CV for that. Is Mudavadi ripe for presidency? I think so. He has a CV for that. Any other person, I don't think so. Wajakoya and other guys, I don't see the CV that qualifies. You see, this is governance. We focus so much on politics, okay? And I'm glad that this show is politics, leadership, and governance. Most Kenyans focus on the politics side, but they don't focus on the governance side. On the governance side, if you look at Kalonzo Musyoka, if you look at Musalia Mudavadi, they qualify. When you look at leadership, their leadership styles qualify. In fact, they are cool. They have a cooler head than even the current president. Okay, so they have this. Then their politics, you can employ people to play politics for you. Kibaki was not really a politician, but he won the presidency. Most of these guys who win presidency are not even politicians, except William Ruto. William Ruto is the politician who won the presidency. on matters governance and other things ni pata potea. Tacheza mchezo kidogo hapa na economy kiumane. Atawaambia atanunua mafuta in shillings. Like, wait a minute, how? Kiumane. He will just try pata potea on governance. But on politics, I think after Moi, the late President Moi, William Ruto comes the second as the professor of politics in this country. Because he even beat Raila Odinga himself. So, Raila Odinga has no choice. It's not that he is giving a contradicting statement, in my opinion. It's just that Raila Odinga is trying to control the emotions in his camp.
Thank you very much, Bushebi Jr.
You're welcome.
And Bushebi Jr., if presidential elections were held today in Kenya, and two presidential go head-to-head, that is President William Ruto and His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, who do you think would win and why?
If elections were held today and it's William Ruto versus Kalonzo Musyoka today right now as we are talking, I think William Ruto will still win. And my reason is that despite the fact that William Ruto has scored almost zero in terms of high cost of living, in terms of economy, mostly economy. President William Ruto and his government has scored almost nil. Look at the stability of the country, right? Look at the stability of the country. Look at the political temperature of the country. That Ruto has scored. He has managed to bring down the temperatures. There's no more mandamanos. There's no more, he has managed. Look at the skirmishes and the clashes. He has tried through the CS Kindiki. They have tried to crush it. So we have small problems that keep on emerging. But the biggest problem is just the economy side, which they're still struggling with. But other areas, the president has really tried in 1 year. But now, he's been tested. Kenyans have seen it. We complain, but we complain and sleep in our houses. We complain, but at least we have some food to eat. We complain, things are expensive, but at least you can afford one of them, if not all of them. We complain, but at least there's peace. Our borders are secure. We complain, but at least clashes are being, tamed. We complain, but we have a political stability in the country. We're seeing investors coming in. We are seeing people falling in love with Kenya. Okay? So, when you look at this vis-a-vis Kalonzo Musyoka, whose record has been from 2022 or 2020, 2021 supporting Raila Odinga and involving in Mandamano. And, there's nothing much. Okay? So when you put President William Ruto here with some tangible evidence of leadership and governance and politics, and you place Kalonzo Musyoka here, who is you have to scratch for something he has achieved. You have to scratch. The only thing you can talk about Kalonzo Musyoka is when he joined hands with former President late Mwai Kibaki in 2007, became the vice president, and was able to save the country from, an escalation of deaths. Of course, there was deaths, but there was going to be an escalation. And Kibaki was it was just about to be worse. That's all I can say. It was just about to be worse. And Kalonzo Musyoka came in and saved the country. Apart from that, there's nothing much you can say about Kalonzo Musyoka. But there's a lot you can say about the president. And that is why, if today elections were held and we are to judge between the two leaders, I do believe that people will prefer the devil they know than the angel that they don't know. So Kalonzo Musyoka would best win against Mudavadi, because they are both starters. They've never been presidents. The shortest serving vice president is Musalia Mudavadi from Mululu. Mululu produced the shortest serving president, about 3 months, vice president. Moi pia alichezea Musalia Mudavadi at that time. And then we have a vice president, Kalonzo Musyoka. So these two are on the same level. If they go head to head one of them can win. But now Ruto and Kalonzo, I think Kalonzo will put up a good fight. Well done, Mr. Kalonzo, you put up a good fight. But President William Ruto will still win if elections were held today.
Well said. And still on political wrangles, deep split is seen hitting President William Ruto's UDA party ahead of the grassroots elections. Let's have a look at this report.
There is a clear indication that trouble is looming within the United Democratic Alliance Party UDA a month after President William Ruto said this in Nyeri County.
Uchaguzi ni Disemba na tunaanza pale kwa polling station kwa sababu tunataka kuhakikisha ya kwamba chama ni institution ya governance.
It is now emerging that there is an equal push to have the grassroots elections in the party postponed, and the tones within the party indicate that some within the party feel that the elections have come too soon, while the proponents are pushing for the elections, mostly within the president's corner, to go on as planned, arguing that there will be no perfect time to hold the elections.
We have a member of parliament here.
Further, pushing for the elections to be postponed, mostly from the deputy president's corner, are said to have feared that their lack of involvement in the party elections could lead them to missing out on key positions in the party, some fearing a deja vu moment when the once mega Jubilee party kicked out its big names during its party primaries. Another matter at hand that might further fuel the rift in the ruling party is the lucrative Secretary General's position. At the moment, Cleophas Malala is the occupant of the seat. However, undertones within the party suggest that Malala might have fallen out with the party's leadership, and Kiaru Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro is being fronted for the Secretary General's position.
For the issue of Boni Halwale and Malala, we have not received the petition towards our ABO SG, and those are just baseless arguments that I think Honorable Boni Halwale has. But once we receive them, we look at them, we will solve any issues that we have amicably. We've also
nominated Senator Veronica Maina has also expressed interest in the seat. She was the founding Secretary General of the party. Already a petition has been launched before the United Democratic Alliance UDA Party Disputes and Resolution Committee, seeking the removal of Cleophas Malala as the UDA party's Secretary General over allegations of gross misconduct. In the petition, Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale has accused Malala of taking advantage of his position as the SG to exploit situations that would be beneficial to him, the determination of other party members, a matter Malala has downplayed.
I share our WhatsApp group with Boni Halwale. I saw that thing on WhatsApp, but as secretariat we've not received anything. So I'm yet to receive that petition. Yeah, but as to when it comes to the secretariat, we shall adjudicate it using the mechanisms of the party. We are a democratic party. Everybody has a right.
Last week, a section of parliamentarians led by Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei came to defend Malala from attacks levied against him by Kimilili Member of Parliament Didmas Baraza, who had accused him of being a mole of the opposition.
I have evidence. I have been furnished by M-Pesa statements. I have been furnished by bank statements that indicates that this young man is receiving money from ODM sympathizers to wreck the Kenya Kwanza coalition from within. This is very evident if the statements that he has been making for the last 3 months is something to go by. One, Cleophas Wahungu Malala doesn't understand the efforts that our President William Samoei Ruto and very many leaders put to bring Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula within the Kenya Kwanza coalition. So when you incite the people of Bungoma against Wetangula, when you incite the people of Vihiga against the Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Minister for Foreign Affairs, the Right Honorable His Excellency Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, you are basically weakening the foot soldiers of William Samoei Ruto for ODM to pass in 2027.
If anybody has a problem with him, there are structures within the party that can be addressed. And in any case, the elections of the United Democratic Party are done in December. So anybody who has a divergent opinion, it is they can measure their popularity in them.
Malala further says that such a tug of war is expected for a vibrant party.
But a party without conflicts is not a party. A political party with conflicts, this is a sign of a vibrant party. So we are up to the task. We have all the mechanisms to ensure that we have an amicable way to sort out upcoming resolutions, and we are going to have so many conflicts ahead of the election and even after elections.
Wednesday's visit by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to the party's headquarters to hold a consultative meeting with the National Steering Committee to discuss the management of the party has been seen as a way to have him largely involved in the party elections. Rita Kering Chebet.
All right, that's the report. Mushebi Jr., it's evident that there is a split in UDA. What do you think about it?
What I think about it is that the president is trying to put his house in order. And there's a jostling and tension for positions. I want to give you a sneak peek of what happened that led to the formation of United Democratic Alliance as a party. When William Ruto faced the sharp knife, the cutting knife of former President William Ruto, former President Uhuru Kenyatta, sorry for that, he had to make a choice to form his party. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga had shaken hands, and William Ruto had nowhere to go. He was cornered. And he had to look for a way to survive. So he created a coup within the Jubilee Party and managed to convince quite a number of Jubilee Party members to be loyal to him. By then they didn't have a party. It was just Jubilee. But there was Jubilee Tangatanga and Jubilee, the other one, I don't even remember the name, Kieleweke. There was Jubilee Kieleweke and there was Jubilee Tangatanga. Tangatanga belonged to William Ruto and Kieleweke was the Akina Murage and those ones who supported former President Uhuru Kenyatta. And so during the last days, almost some few months to elections, a party had to be created because it was evident that President William Ruto had no party to run for presidency. And so it was just imperative that a party had to be formed. But see, this party is being formed for one purpose and one purpose alone, to make William Ruto the president. And it is being formed during the last days, almost to elections. And so that's how UDA was born. It was